Here is Tingle's counterpart in this world. Hee hee hee. Soon I shall make a killing off this town. Kululimpa.
Was that a customer? Yikes, it's a monster! Boo, boo.
No, don't touch that. That's our hot grass. Just scoop that pup right up. Hey guys, it's Adam AK, Swimming Bird, and welcome to The Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess HD. Last episode, we bombed our way to new rewards in Kakariko Village, then traveled here to the last region covered in Twilight. Once more, unto the breach, dear friends. We're hunting shadow bugs one final time. But first, that looks like something I wouldn't mind a sniffin'. It's a purse with a weird pink stink coming out of it. Oh, it's a fanny pack for your thigh. She looks familiar. But Link, can you at least promise me this? If I get kidnapped by Gerblins and you find my purse, clear my browser history. Just come home safely. Oh, don't worry. We're going to bring you home safely, too, my duck-lipped darling. Forget the you scent and learn a new smell? Yes, we learned the scent of Ilia, and we can finally save her, hopefully. After almost the entire game, she's been kidnapped. You smell the girl, don't you? I can tell by the look on your face. Got those goo-goo puppy eyes. Well, good. It's another clue, then. But this scent could be quite old. I wonder if she's still all right. Eehee. Got another eehee for the counter. Okay, so this is the largest Twilight region to explore. There's a lot of stuff to do here, and we've actually been in part of this way back at the beginning of the game. As you can see in the distance, it's Hyrule Castle, and we're going to be romping our way towards it. A little slower, now that Midna's like, hey, hold up, I got some stuff to tell you. How many eehees do we got? Give me an update. Okay, she's gonna give us a little bit of a rundown of what we need to do. Hey, haven't we seen this castle before? Eehee. So, we finally made it back here. Well, only a little farther, so hang in there. Or so I'd like to say, but the going's a lot harder from here on out. Eehee. All right then, let's get started. So yeah, it's gonna be a little bit tougher to figure out where we need to go here, but I got a good idea. Let's head towards the castle. So while we're playing, I did want to talk a little bit more about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. A lot of you guys responded in the comments and said you wanted to hear more about the new game. We don't know all that much, but one thing that we can talk about is the connection of the new Zelda to this Zelda. Now we have the Wolf Link amiibo that's going to be a little companion in that one, and Link is also right-handed in the new game, which means maybe hero mode in this game and Skyward Sword are canonical more with Link being right-handed occasionally. I think they just did that, as they said in interviews, because the buttons for attacking are on the right part of the controller. But it is interesting to think about a lot of this stuff. And I mentioned some of the connections between Breath of the Wild and Twilight Princess, and I was under the impression that maybe the new game is going to fall into the timeline, the child timeline after Majora's Mask and Twilight Princess, and Four Swords as well. But it seems kind of up in the air. There's a lot of theories because if you look at the new game, you can see elements from a bunch of them, like the Master Sword is kind of in a very similar spot to Link to the Past. We have the Old Man popping up again from the NES Zelda games. There's Koroks from Wind Waker. We have word that the Happy Mask Salesman is going to pop up again. They did that little teaser back when Majora's Mask 3D was coming out. We know that he's... excuse me, little Twilight Papa there. But yeah, so there's a lot of different things that that could confirm this new game being a sequel to one of the other ones in the timeline, but there's so much conflicting information because there's elements from each one. Seemingly, almost every game in the franchise is going to have some connection to the new one, and the idea, I don't have to fight these guys, let's get out of here. The idea is that there is a converging timeline theory that maybe Breath of the Wild is going to link together, or I shouldn't say link, every time it sounds like a pun. It's going to bind together all of the Zelda game timelines into a single path, which is kind of ironic because Breath of the Wild is going to have so much innovative new stuff. It's going to be unlike any of the other Zeldas before. But it has a lot in common and has some traits, that it's inheriting, that it's calling back to at the same time. So here we are in Hyrule Castle Town. We're not going to be able to really talk to too many people here just yet, but we can follow the scent. We have some ladies gossiping near the gate. Hey, so did you hear? They say that a Zora child collapsed near here. I thought Zora were typically found up north, right? I wonder why one came down here. Well, I heard that he was taken to the bar on the other side of the southern road. The bar? You mean Telma's place? she's got it rough. So there's a little hint at where we need to head. Most of these people are just kind of walking around as set dressing. It is a pretty lively town compared to most of the other Zelda games. You see a lot of people walking all over the place. It feels a little more lived in, hustling and bustling, but we're not going to worry about that too much. Now, another thing with Breath of the Wild, this fountain here, people have actually found the, in that first little, less than 2% of the game demo area from E3, they've found the fountain from Castletown, connecting very directly to the Ocarina of Time Castletown. This little kid is really making a little spirit breeze behind him, looking kind of like a blue blur. Okay, so here we have the medical clinic. It looks like the scent went in here briefly and then went back around. I think we can pick this up already. Come here, let me grab that little bone there. Oh, but I'm trying to bite it, but we actually just have to hit A to pick it up. Give me that. There we go. We'll take this with us. We don't need this though. Let's. We got another little group of gals that we can throw the bone right into the camera. There's another group of kids here that'll give us some hints we can talk to as well. But yeah, so Castletown in Ocarina and Twilight Princess and a lot of the games actually correspond to other games as well. And the ruins that they showed in the Breath of Fire little demo correspond to the castle. So it is way after a lot of these other games for sure. I heard a boy passed out. When? Where? I don't know. A little bit of information, but we know where we're going here. Following the scent all the way down to a baby Goron.
No pissing. If you want hot spring water, form 1 line.
So this, I don't think this is the same one, but maybe they already traveled here. Could be another father-son duo. Could be daughter. I can't tell.
I have a limited supply of hot spring water. The race goes to the swift, as it is said.
We got some more info here. So what the soldier by the spring said, that was true? What did he say? Tell me. I'm looking all like, treat? Is it true that Lake Hylia to the west dried up? Interesting. We're going to be headed there pretty soon, though, so we'll know for ourselves. And we got another sign here. This is Telma's bar. If we look in the corner, though, suspicious crate over here, and a little shadow bug that we can try to lock onto if we have our scent. Come here, little guy. We're going to pounce on him and take him down. Now, we don't have our Vessel of Light yet, but remember that that's there because it will be handy. Little wolf link picking up bones and pushing doors open. He's like a velociraptor learning how to get into houses. Okay, so here we are at Telma's bar, and it's her. It's the one we've been looking for, my love, my OTP. No. So Ilia's here, but there's a few new characters that are going to be important as well, including this little unconscious Zora boy. This boy, can you save him? All right, little lady, try to settle down, okay? I just sent for the doctor. But this is strange, a child of the Zoras? I wonder if this is at all related to the incident the soldiers were talking about in back. Nice look at Wolflake's forehead fur there. What an emotional reunion. Yes, a girl and her wolf. Sorry, but you know how it goes. These folks can't see you either. So we're gonna have to figure out what's going on with this kid eventually. This boy is still so young, so innocent. To see him suffering like this. He'll be all right, little lady. Someone's already gone for the doctor. I'll tell you, though, from what those soldiers in back were saying about everything else, there sure has been a rash of trouble lately. And then we have the soldiers over here. What's this guy talking to his troops about?
We've had a ton of complaints from citizens who can't send prayers to the spring spirit at Lake Hylia. Go there. The location is the one I showed you on the map earlier. Got it?
Nope, we don't know.
They're clueless. What? Study it, know it well.
So here's the map, and we're gonna check that out, get a nice zoom in here, and shows us just where we need to go. I've received orders from above to investigate why we can't go to the Spirit Spring in Lake Hylia. Got that? All right, so that's where we're headed next. Can't really help anyone here just yet, but we will be back to the bar at a later time when we have feet and not paws. So anyways, I was talking a little bit about the connections. It's really interesting that even from that tiny little glimpse that we've seen from E3, and definitely check that stuff out if you haven't yet, because it's mostly just gameplay stuff. But still, there's some connections, like I mentioned, the old man, and we have some things here we'll get to later, like Agatha's castle, mini games, and characters to talk to for side quests. But yeah, like the old man popping up again, who may or may not be the king of Hyrule. We don't know. He has a very similar looking face. Here is Tingle's counterpart in this world. Soon I shall make a killing off this town. Kululimpa. But yeah, so lots of little interesting tidbits. But the fact that that a lot of the land is or was in ruins and is now overgrown. We see the ruins of where the castle town was and the castle itself, and then the Temple of Time is still standing, but it has a statue of the goddess in it. I keep getting distracted trying to fight these little guys, but we don't need to. But yeah, there's a statue of the goddess that pops up. Pretty much, like I said, a connection to almost every game in the series so far. But we do know a few things about the story, that the Link that is in Breath of the Wild is going to be a reawakened Link that has been sleeping for 100 years. So he's probably a Link from one of those other games. And I know Amiibo have kind of rules and different weird magic that probably doesn't fit to canon and stuff. But the fact that you can summon in Wolf Link in the new game as a helper maybe makes it seem like it's actually two Links, fighting together, and that it's a really, a real thing, him being drawn out of his world to go save or help the hero of the new one. Lake Hylia's newest hangout, Fyer and Falby's watertop land of fantastication. Head right for the Flight by Fowl main attraction. No time to chill on Kukos. But yeah, so we're gonna be seeing a lot more about that story in the future. And I wouldn't want to, go too much into it before we even get to play the game anyway. So I don't want to spoil stuff for you guys, but it is exciting to see the connections between this game and the new one. This is the Great Bridge of Hylia. Another connection. There's a huge bridge that they've shown in the trailer and gameplay, and it could be Eldin, but it's probably this one, actually, because it does have a big body of water underneath it. So that's the theory right now. But yeah, having all these connections and things and the Temple of Time and stuff popping up is pretty interesting. It makes it seem like it could be more of a connection between the games than we've really seen too often. Hey, do you smell anything funny? Well, I just stepped in this weird oil, but my head has been filled with the scent of a purse, so I didn't smell it. Uh-oh. A lone Shadow Bulblin Twilight Archer guy is gonna be lighting this place up. We fell right into his trap. What a dumb dog. No. We weren't thinking. We were just, we gotta help the region here. We just ran right in. The easiest shot he ever took. It was like 2 feet ahead of him, and he's lit this place up. Oh no, we're trapped. Get out of here. So very quickly, we actually have a good amount of time. As you can see, the fire is not spreading too quick, but we can push this crate over here, hop up, and just take a little leap of faith. There we go. Like GoldenEye. Reminds me of jumping off the dam way back on the N64. Okay, going down, and we've got somebody soaring overhead looking creepy. Those weird jumbled-faced Kargarocs. And this is Lake Hylia, not really looking too much like a lake right now, but we'll fix that. That's something that also happened to Ocarina of Time. This game has so many connections to Ocarina of Time that if you play both of them, you probably pick up on a lot of the stuff in common. Phew, that was a close one. We're lucky there was a puddle down below, huh? It's kind of bigger than a puddle, but... So this is Lake Hylia, but there's so little water. Sounds like the Spirit Spring should be somewhere around here as well. Anyway, let's take a look around. Okay, it's a little creepy. I've always had a weird... Not just because I can't swim that well, but having... water underneath you is always creepy, especially in games when there could be a monster under there, unlike in real life, or maybe there is. So we've got some spirits of Zora here, or at least ones that we can't really interact with yet. The drop in water has been faster than predicted. At this rate, Lake Hylia will dry up. It's a race against time. If only I had an ocarina. So there's a bunch of soldiers that looks like they have cool spears or naginata, and there's awesome helmets. We've had absolutely no water flowing from upstream. There's no mistaking it. Something must have happened at the water source in our home, Zora's domain. Yes, I was trying to do a fish voice, but he turned into an old man. How do we do to return upstream to our home? With the way things are now, we cannot even walk back there. That would be real rough to do for the entire, every conversation with Zora. So I'm not going to avoid the fish voice, but there's let me know if you want to hear that. All right, and this sad sack over here, this little hobo clown.
I'm too old for this. Fire and Falby's watertop land of fantastication. It's our grand reopening at our new lake bottom location. Yes, nice lake. Don't lakes have more, water? Did the Zoras who live upstream do something? Or is it a curse from that spirit that floats around over there? Whatever. It's not like I could go up and complain. It's way too high. Oh,
His eyes got so big.
was that a customer? Yikes, it's a monster! Boo, boo.
All right, so he spotted somebody over here. It's just a lone Bulblin archer like we dealt with before. Should be pretty easy to take down with his one creepy eye, or whatever that is. But he spots something. No, don't touch that. That's our hot grass. Only the hero can use it. It grows back so fast. He's going to be summoning something in, but we're not used to seeing hawks flying around in the skies when everything's cloaked in Twilight. There's something else. We got a sight of it. This is a nice Jaws-esque perspective, too. Speaking of things coming up from below and attacking you, it's a Twilit carrier, Kargaroc, and he has a nice saddle on him already, so he must have, dropped off of that, and he's been, scouting around while that's flying everywhere. Wolflink looked down at the hawk grass. We could howl at that, but it's not going to do anything for us. We just kind of want to avoid this guy's arrows and lure him in for a little swoop attack, and then we can take him out. We don't have any long-range abilities, really, so it's more trying to wait till he's in a good position, and then jump on up and bite those ribs. Delicious ribs. No, making me hungry. I haven't eaten in a little bit, so I have the motivation of destroying this little mini-boss so that I can have something delicious to eat. All right, and let's take him out before he can get back onto his mount. How about a little Midna slap to finish him off? Nope. He wasn't fully standing before I did that, but all right, we're done. And we could take it out, or we could let Midna take control. There we go. She's used to jumping on beasts and commanding them. Hey, stop it. I'm your new master now. Settle down. This is giving me deja vu from the beginning of the game. Well, hey, why don't we use this guy to get us all the way to the lake's water source? Just scoop that pup right up. That pupper scooper. There we go. He's like a puppy that someone's just lifted up, and he's just gone into the little position with his paws all hanging adorably. So we got a little bit of a mini-game type of thing here where we have to travel up the Zora River and hopefully make our way safely without running into any stalactites or stalagmites and all that good stuff hanging here. We could use our scent because there are some Twilight bugs here, the shadow insects, hanging around. They might not actually be out yet, but this is where we're going to get 3 of them as we go along. We're going to try to be careful here, and you can hit A to dash. You might want to take it slow and not do that too much because there's a lot of things that you could get hurt by, including these. Sometimes you do want to dash to get out of the way of them and make sure you're safe. You can go real low to make sure it doesn't really hit you, though. But this can be a little tough if you're not used to flying around, so be careful here. All right, we're going to try to just dodge in and out of this stuff. I like that we get to control one of these creepy monsters for once. They give me nightmares, but they're fun to ride around when I'm just hanging off their creepy talons. But yeah, so I pretty much, said a bunch of stuff about the timeline stuff, but if you have any thoughts about that converging timeline idea, there's so many connections with the new Zelda to the old one, so some people are even thinking that maybe the Link in the new game is actually the original Link. That would be so crazy to see. Go, go, go! But yeah, so we'll learn more in the future. We still have like 9 months for this Zelda baby to be born, and we'll be able to play that. I'm definitely going to be playing it. A lot of people have been asking. I'm looking forward to it so much, to playing it with you guys and experiencing it. So that'll be in the future. And if we get more story spoilers down the road, I won't spoil them for you guys. I'll let you guys look that stuff up if you want to see it. But for now, I'm going to be dreaming of that game. This is the Upper Zora's River. We have even more characters. When we're done with this Wolflink part, there's so many side quests that open up before we head to the next dungeon. We can do a lot of stuff. Ah, we're already here? That bird turned out to be more useful than I expected. Well then, where's the village of the Zoras? Let's look for it. It's getting cold. Hurry up. So we could go over here and talk to this little gal. This is the Zora's River to Lake Hylia, ride down river the fun way. Boat rental cabin, rental fee, 20 rupees. And we have another character here with an afro as well that looks similar to another character we met back in the woods. I mean, what are those Zoras up to anyway? The rivers run totally dry, right? I can't work like this. Ugh. She's just sitting on the stoop sad. Cold. I miss my fur coat. I don't know what happened to that, but we're just going to dive right in and make our way to this chilly river bottom here. So as you can see, the lake dried up for a reason. We have a lot of ice here. Froze the river upstream, so no water is getting all the way down to Lake Hylia. But we did see that little area when I panned the camera to make sure no giant sharks were going to eat us. I did spot the entrance to the dungeon that we'll be headed to a little bit later, and we'll get our last fused shadow. This is Zora's domain, far from the happy grotto that we're used to in Ocarina of Time and other games like that. Oh, hey, what's going on here? I thought it was getting colder, but who would have thought that it would all be frozen? This is the Zora village, right? Why don't I see any then? Well, anyway, let's check things out. Let's find the Zoras. Hopefully nothing really horrible has happened to them. Okay, we're gonna make our way over here, avoid these little Twilight keys that are messing with me all the time in the the opening. I think we could get up from here. Let's go. All right, let's jump our way up all the way to the top. Okay, you always got to be careful not to keep hitting A after that happens, and make sure you don't accidentally jump right off the ledge. We're climbing our way up with those little puppy paws that are good for walking in the snow, most likely. Oh, jeez. I think I jumped too fast there. Let's do this again. Sorry about that. Go, go, go. Usually you can spam the button, but sometimes they like to throw you off by making it a little more timing based. Okay, let's make sure we don't get hit this time. We're gonna jump, jump, and look out for... Oh, it already fell, so we're good. There we go. Yeah, just jumping too fast will amount to trouble in the long run if you're not looking at what's in the way. There we go. All right, we made it to the top. Still bats up here. It's always bats going after us. And let's figure out what's wrong with this place before we finish up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please leave a like if you did enjoy this. Oh, look at that. Spoilers. Not spoilers. Shock and awe. Let's get these beasts together accidentally. I let go so I wouldn't attack them, but then I accidentally did it. I'll take this one out on its own. This is the easier way rather than luring them together. Just take one of them out and make sure they're defeated, and then you can get the other two pretty easily. Here we go. All right, all three down, and we have broken their little bond here, but also opened up another portal, which is going to be important next episode. All right, now what is going on with these Zoras? A portal was open here too. We can finally warp. If you want to breathe the air of the world of light for a moment, let me know. I'll take you there. So we could get out of this situation, but I feel bad. We have these fish people to help. Look at them. They're all frozen in place, stuck, trapped in the ice, barely hanging on, it seems. Those are the Zoras. Wow, this is really strange. What in the world happened? Hey, what do you want to do? We can't just leave them like this. I think all we need to do is thaw them out. It does us no good to just stand here thinking. Let's leave and come back later. The portal should work for us. We need to find a way to melt the ice and then come back here. All right, thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like if you enjoyed this. Next time, I am the new king of the Zora. No, next time we'll figure out a way to help these fish people, and we'll do that on the next episode. See you then. Goodbye.